Ever looked at one of your portrait images and thought, it lacks a little something? You've probably seen the sort of Instagram filters that glow up a portrait image, and may have wondered how you can achieve a similar effect on your own photos. Well, the secret behind these major transformations are actually pretty minor features in Affinity Photo. In fact, it can all be achieved with just a handful of adjustment layers. The advantage of an adjustment layer is that you have a high degree of control over the effect. No messing about with sliders here. What's more, you can localize the adjustments by brushing pixels in and out. Best still, this whole technique can be done in a matter of minutes, and this speed will be important to professionals who have to edit a big batch of portraits from a photo shoot in one go. So, what are you waiting for? Let's see how to add that Hollywood cinema filter to your images today. With your image open in Affinity Photo, make sure you're in the photo persona. If not, just click on the Affinity logo in the top left of the interface. Next, head to the top of the interface and select the Layer menu before scrolling down and selecting New Adjustment Layer. Scroll across, and from the drop-down menu, select Curves. A dialog box will appear with a histogram, and it's this feature that gives us that extra control. At the bottom of the box, you'll see a channel selector, and by default it's set to Master. Change from Master and select Red, and use the mouse to drag the line and make a rough S shape as opposed to the straight line that we had when we started. Next, head down to the channels and select Green. Repeat the last step and draw out that rough S shape. You'll see the image really start to change now. Let's take a quick look at what we started from and what we have already. We're not done yet though, because we're going to head back to the channel selector and this time select blue. However, instead of replicating the lines of the red and green channels, we're going to invert that S shape and drag the line down. Once again, let's click the curves adjustment on and off to see the dramatic transformation we've made already. Head back up to the layer menu, back down to New Adjustment Layer, scroll across, and this time we're going to select HSL. HSL is usually used for boosting colour, but today we're going to use it for a different reason. We're going to head down to the luminosity slider and drag this all the way to the left, leaving our picture in darkness. Let's get rid of this dialog box now. We need to brush out some pixels so we can use this dark frame to create a vignette. Head to the toolbox and select the paintbrush tool, and the keyboard shortcut for this is B. Select it and you can increase the size of the brush using the square bracket keys. Make sure the brush is set to black and the hardness is set to 0%. You can then start to remove the pixels in the center of the image, working your way out, but leaving the darkness in the corners to add that vignette. This is without the vignette, and this is with the vignette. If you feel the vignette is still too strong, you can lower the opacity of this layer, and it will reduce the effect of the vignette. We're just going to jump back to our curves adjustment layer, and you'll see by boosting the curves, we've left a little bit of the skin on the model a little bit overexposed. So I'm going to lower the opacity of the brush to 50%. I'm just going to paint out a few of those pixels just to bring some detail back into the shoulder. Okay, let's remind ourselves quickly of where we've come from. Here's the starting image, and here's our final image, giving our portrait that Hollywood treatment in just a few clicks of the mouse. You can now head up to File, scroll down to Export, and then save the file in your chosen format, whether it be a JPEG or a TIFF. There we go. Have fun transforming your portraits, and thanks for watching.